Finish the story here, and welcome to the Valley. I have no idea what this is about, but we're gonna play it, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be fun. So let's get into it. Oh, this looks fancy. Okay, sorry, I got distracted. I like the flowers. The flowers are pretty. Oh, we gotta zoom. Oh. Asphalt. You think you can smell asphalt. It's strange, though, since you're nowhere near a paved road. Instead, you're trekking down to the bottom of a valley for your second ever job. An assistant botanist, hundreds of miles away from the nearest civilization, just the way you like it. Your employers dropped you off at a hoist. I think that's right. That leads you directly into the heart of the valley. Oh, fuck. It looked old, like part of a mine shaft. You questioned its security as it lowered and creaked all the way to the bottom. Yeah, no kidding. As it descended, the walls curved concave. It reminded you of a crater you've only seen in pictures. Intriguing. It's still morning, but the way you plunged into the shadows confused your sense of time. The scaffolding above, as if to hide this place, directed sunlight like a spotlight to shine onto your destination. And that's where you're headed now, smelling asphalt in this roadless path. You were a tad nervous that your ID card might not work, that this whole job was too good to be true. Relief floods you as you step inside the only sunlit facility in this valley. Ooh, cool. A lobby is what you expected, so you racked your brain trying to figure out what this room is. And then you remember your employers have told you about a clean room, where you'll put on a uniform for this job. It's ultimately a lab after all. They're afraid of introducing unknown elements into the environment since you'll be working directly in the greenhouse. You quickly eye the instructional posters on the wall and grab the correct size gear from the rack, stashing away your hoodie into a locker, a little reluctantly. Fair enough. After you're done, it's actually not bad. You can live in this like a second skin. One more protective layer from the world. Emboldened, you swipe your ID card once more onto the next room. The first thought that strikes you is that this place is lonely. As if every trace of anyone living there has been erased. The second thought that follows is that it's even better than you expected, especially when you hear them. Hello. Oh, I look cute. Hi. Hello, Ash. It's your supervisor, Ash. You were too engrossed in listening for someone else that you didn't even notice they had been standing there. You must be the new hire, our new assistant botanist. You were briefed on Ash before you arrived here, the only human you would ever be interacting with for the foreseeable future. Your interview process didn't involve them at all, which struck you as odd, but the recruiter was very frank about the 100 NDAs this project was under. You were just happy to even get considered in the first place. Yes? Not very talkative, are you? Well, whatever. How'd you find the dorms? It was right next to the facility. You didn't need to check on your rooms since there was no friends there. Your bag of bearable was taken for processing ahead of time and dropped off, so all you needed coming here was your ID card. Given the circumstances, you're not sure how to answer the question. Just ask me how you found it or what you think about it. You realize that you've been taking too long when Ash moves on. Alright. is your name? Don't you already know from my application? Yes, but I want to hear it from you instead of whatever's officially on paper. Oh. You find yourself both intimidated and oddly touched by the sentiment. So what is it? Alright, how much do you know about this job? Not much. They didn't tell me much when I was hired. Yeah, I know they don't tell you. I'm just asking what you know. Oh. I know I'm not supposed to be talking with anyone about this job, which I like. I know I'm going to be taking care of the plants in this facility, in the greenhouse, under your supervision. I don't know what kind of plants there are, but I'm excited to meet them. Meet them? Okay, well, I won't keep you. Let's see, what else do you have to know? Don't bother going anywhere else aside from your office in the greenhouse. May I ask why? No, you lack access to them anyways. Unsure of how to respond, you simply sit back and embrace the silence. No, silence is awkward for you. Ash seems to disagree with their foot starting to tap on the floor. Right, well, here's a list I wrote up with basic duties I expect from you. They hand you a piece of paper riddled with coffee stains. There's a near unintelligible bullet list. I'll be in my lab, go settle in before checking those off. Before you can bring up the problem of even understanding what the tasks are, Ash rushes off almost as if they've been dying to exit this conversation. Okay. You attempt to read the list, but it proves to be, insurmountable. Your eyes ache with the pointless effort. I guess I'll get settled. You decide to check out. Let's check out the office. The assistant botanist office. Or rather, your office. It feels weird for you to have your own space like this at a workplace. A small plant nursery at your first job didn't have anything like this, and that was your only job you managed to hold down. You know that it smells sterile, as though they had scrubbed the place clean after the previous assistant had left. Though you don't have any idea what a normal office space should look like. The desktop is wiped clean just like the office, aside from basic softwares like a word processor. No internet either, as you're supposed to send updates through Ash instead. You're made to understand that the job is completely isolated, but you feel the understanding truly down to you now. That's no problem for you, though. It's a map of the facility. Too many areas are restricted. You can essentially only be here, the greenhouse, Ash's lab, though you can't say the last one with certainty either. There's a basement section that Ash has mentioned. It's completely closed off. You can't help but wonder why. It's a diagram showing the basic breakdowns of a plant cell. Despite your admittedly low self-esteem, you're a little offended by the patronizing diagram. The requirements for the assistant's job don't come close to the job description for a real botanist, but never mind. All the hot air that rushed into your head deflates when you agree with the made-up evaluation that you are indeed incompetent and unfit for the role. With how clean the office is, you're surprised that the trash can isn't also empty. Your heart crumples up when you notice the cease flower seed packet sitting on top of the pile. Camilla, Lily of the Valley, Gurnanums? How could people just throw you away like this? You promised them that you'd salvage and nurture them when you get the opportunity. And a speck of dust in the cabinets. You pick up the notebook. Or a sketchbook, as you soon find out flipping through the continents. You're a little weirded out this place scrubbed clean, and this was left so conspicuously. The handwriting is terrible. You can barely read it. The owner and Ash might be a match made in heaven. That thought leads you to briefly consider Ash as the owner, but the handwriting is equally as terrible as it is different enough. But the sketches inside have incredible detail. You're able to recognize all the plants, flowers, and most of them lovingly rendered with pencil. One page makes you pause. You think it might be a tree, but you've never seen it before. There's buds on the branches that resembles one evenly bloom on dogwood. What? There's buds on the branches that resemble ones that eventually bloom on dogwood trees. Then you question if it is even a tree. Despite having tree-like features, the silhouette looks more like someone kneeling. A bit creeped out yet intrigued, you decide to flip through the rest later. It's your first day and you've already spent too long pondering over this. Okay, let's go then. You think you're... Yeah, we're done. You decide to check out... Let's go to the lab. The lab. The last time you were in anything close to resembling this place was chemistry class in high school. High school, which you failed. You don't like to remember that. You were told that this is under Ash's jurisdiction, so you're afraid to look at anything too closely. You awkwardly stand around the entrance, vaguely wondering why there's even an operating table when you notice someone calling out. That was fast. Have you finished the task list already? Again, you're taken by surprise. It's not who you were listening for. Did Ash come through the open access lab? You were staring pretty intently at a plant over there. Were you curious? Oh. It seems relaxed, content, but a little thirsty. Huh. Oh, never mind. Okay. You think you can hear Ash muttering something under their breath. Your mind immediately supplies you with some very colorful language. I'm going to go back to work then, after watering that. Ash grabs a half-empty beaker nearby, opens the cabinet, and dumps the water on the plant before walking back to what you presume to be their office. Taking that as a dismissal, you exit the lab. They're humoring you, but it's more than you normally get. Ash was part of the job description that made you anxious the most, but maybe you can at least work with them in peace. Hopefully. You decide, let's go to the basement then. I hate basements. You walk down the unit stairs. It feels like you're walking into the void, yet the feeling isn't entirely unwelcome. At the end of it, you can see the basement door under a dim fluorescent light. It's more of a gate, and it imposes a practically calling out for you to open it. In fact, literally so. You feel a certain pull. The last time you felt this way was the first time you talked to someone. A flower. Even though you're certain this won't work, you try your luck with the ID card at the gate. Of course not. You decide to check out the greenhouse. You feel settled in enough, so the only place left to explore is the reason you were hired. The greenhouse, where you're taking care of plants. You're excited to make new friends. It's been a while since you were able to, ever since you were fired from your last job, which was your fault. You couldn't be good enough, could never be good enough for them. Plants were different. You didn't have to perform anything, you could just be. They easily accepted you into their world, as if it were the most natural thing in the world to do. They understood you like no other, and you I missed that, sorry. And they called out to you from the other side, their voices bubbling pleasantly, like a mallet on a xylophone. Wait, so can you speak to them? With a newfound resolve, you swipe your ID card and enter the greenhouse. It's numerous. You recall the last time you heard this many voices. When you were a child, you would wander for hours in the woods. Your parents were never a fan of that, but they could never understand the comfort of the greenery would bring you. A sound sleep for one, the whispers, a sweet lullaby in your ears. The plants here there are less a part of the greenhouse and more part of a forest. An ecosystem with a state-of-the-art technology emulating nature far below where the sun develops the earth. And they are as content as they could be. Now, while they're happy, there's an undercurrent of nervousness, as if they're walking on eggshells. A facade of a paradise. What's wrong? You probe deeper and you can feel it. At the heart of this place, something, no. Oh, there's a person. Beyond the branches, or as if they bowed out to make way for your approach, was someone. Oh, hell no. From the sketches. Like a badly tuned radio, that's what the words feel like, worms against your brain. But the sensation is akin to plant. You're still a plant, but something is wrong. What's wrong? How can I help you? There's never been a plant that you couldn't understand. None of them have ever spoken actual words to you. It's always been an implicit understanding based on the variations in the wavelength that you could always perceive. Small changes in the mood and wants you to pick up on. So this one, you can still tell it's a plant. The buzzing static, it feels like those same wavelengths trying to claw their way into your brain. But something in the way, something. Sounds like it's tired. I know you need help, but what are you trying to say? How can I help you? No, don't go closer. Don't do that. Don't go closer. Come closer. No. You don't realize your breaths are in sync with the breaths of another. You don't realize that the talking you've been taking slowly, but yet steady steps forward. You don't realize you're staring directly into the void as the static fills your senses. You don't realize. Did we just die? They're not normal. You've been here before. They haven't been normal for a while now. We've tried to love them as our own child, even went along with this gender thing. But the way they refuse to socialize with anyone, they don't have any friends. It's not normal, but there's been other kids like that, you know? this isn't you. Distantly, you think you can hear someone crying. You try to move towards them, but you realize your eyes aren't even open. So you move. Oh my god, Ash, what the hell are you doing? Continued in part 2. But I wanna know. No! Why was Ash trying to cut me open? What the frick? And who was the plant thing? I wanna know! Okay, this is fine. To be continued, hopefully. I swear to God, there has to be a part 2. I swear.